I wonder if that's audible for stream, that there's a baby crying in the background every now and then now. It's lovely ambience, is exactly what one wants. Anyway, we back. Hi. I may not have been awake for very long. Hardly slept yesterday, slept poorly today, but somehow slept basically 12 hours, so here we are. Not exactly the most functional human being, but I wanted to continue the game, so I guess that's what we're doing. I was trying to have a look at where I wanted to go next, because there are a few options like I said last time. A few good ideas. We did inspect that, didn't we? I feel like we did. Anyway. From here we have access to basically all the optional areas, including the DLC. And we can also, if you wanted to, you can progress towards the endgame very quickly from here. Bloodborne sort of wraps up oddly quickly. There's also a mate over there-ish, like in that direction, somewhere. Who's a royal pain in the ass to fight, and would conclude one of the quest lines, which would be nice, but I'd rather be equipped slightly differently. I feel like I want to do one more area, and then I'm gonna head into the DLC to grab my weapon of choice, and then we'll leave the rest of the DLC for later, and then we'll finish some more of the side areas of the base game. And then we'll work towards the end of the base game, but not quite conclude it. And then we'll do the DLC. I think that's the order. Yeah, all of this means nothing to you if you haven't seen the game yet. And, well, you'll just have to roll with it. Kind of like how I have to wing it. Just go wherever I want to and try not to suck too much ass. Quickly spend these last vials. Feel a death coming up, feel it in me bones. Look at these fucking prices, god actual damn. I kinda dislike that the prices go up so heavily. I think this might be the maximum, maybe they increase once or twice more, but I don't know. It feels like we've reached the end. So one thing that we could be doing is we could do our first little basic bitch Chalice Dungeon just to see what it's like. And I think that's what we're gonna do first. Nope, this goes here actually. Use the ritual altar to create a Chalice Dungeon with a Chalice Ritual, or to search for Chalice Dungeons created by hunters in other worlds. So we do Chalice Ritual, we have the Petrumeru Chalice, we need 1000 blood echoes, which I just spent because I'm very smart, and we need 2 level 1 ritual bloods to open this. We have that. We found that lying around, so let me quickly inject some. That's not enough. Not sure why I'm being so stingy, I should just use the whole stack, but fuck it. Let's pop open this here first dungeon. This is a shared fixed dungeon. Oh, we can share it or not, it doesn't really matter. I think we just conduct the ritual. Yes. The ritual is finished and the chalice rests upon the altar. You may now explore the dungeon. So, there are basically 2 kinds of chalice dungeons. There is a set of pre-made, predefined sort of plot chalice dungeons that are always the same. And the rest are randomized chalice dungeons. Like, if you wanted to, like, we'll get, if we follow the chalice dungeon line, we'll eventually get access to various other chalices, I should say. And with one of those we can create random dungeons of various, like, depths, which is difficulties and shit like that. And effectively have a lot of replayability this way, because we can just keep going through, not procedurally generated, but somewhat randomly generated bullshit. We'll, however, start with the storyline chalice dungeons. I'm not promising that we'll go through all of them. I've only ever done that once because I find that Chalice Dungeons very tedious overall. Like, I don't enjoy them very much, but having a look here and there could be entertaining. So we'll definitely do the first one, at least the start of the first one, and from there we will just go by feel. If we're enjoying it, we might continue. If not, we say fuck it and focus on the rest of the game. So this is the Bethumaru Labyrinth. We're in layer 1. I think this has 3 layers. Basically, imagine it like if you've played Binding of Isaac. This is now a like the first floor, if you will. And then from here we have these decorations, which are fun. Look, there's the Hunter rune, or the Bloodborne rune, whatever the fuck. I think Hunter rune. So we explore these various rooms. They're cobbled together. In this case, like I said, fixed, not randomly, but you can basically deduce what the tile set looks like from looking at these levels. There are preset enemies here, and every floor ends with a boss, and then we can proceed to the next floor, and then the process kind of repeats. And this first Chalice Dungeon has 3 floors, so we have a couple rooms, then a boss, a couple rooms, boss, couple rooms, and boss, and then we're done. The odd, but also kind of interesting thing about these Chalice Dungeons is that they do, especially the fixed ones, actually contain some lore. Like, this place is actually plot relevant. We've heard allusions to the tombs below Yharnam before, and that they were explored by the tomb prospectors, and that apparently people found the old blood here, or whatever. And all of this is very relevant to the story and the setup of the game. So, doing at least a few of these, or maybe even doing the full set of story Chalice Dungeons at least once, is, in my opinion, recommended, even though I don't really enjoy these dungeons very much. But I keep saying that, it's probably not really worth repeating so much, because they haven't done anything wrong yet. Alright, goodbye that guy. Yo, you threw that straight up. I'm impressed. I have to admit. Will you climb the ladder back up so I can slap you, or do you just sit there now? Seems like you just sit there now. Alright. Probably won't be able to. Oh, never mind, we got him with the plunging attack. Anyway, this is slightly below our pay grade, like we're a little bit over leveled for this, so we should probably not fuck around too much. Everything does hurt pretty heavily in this, though, so if I am too careless, I will die. The good thing about the story Chalice Dungeons, like the plot, the fixed ones, is that they usually, like as we saw, we needed some blood to conduct the ritual and open this Chalice Dungeon to begin with. And you will need more and more of various levels of materials to open further and more complex Chalice Dungeons. And as a result, you might think, oh no, I'll have to farm this shit. But no, thankfully for the, like for the proper Chalice Dungeons, for the plot ones, you do not actually need to farm, because if you just thoroughly explore them, you will find all that you need. Like, there is enough material in these to always open the next one, and thus, as long as you're thorough and properly exploring, you will be fine. Say Spell Maiden, we haven't encountered these yet. Although we were about to encounter these, given that we stopped in Yahar'gul. I think this is called a jailer. Kinda nasty. The skin looks very, like, oily and whatever, like, glistening. Kinda creepy that way. Also, they're not wearing underwear for some reason, which is a bit weird. Let's break these incense pots so you can actually see. Not that it's that important. So every layer, like I said, has a boss room, and the boss room starts locked. You have to go around and look for a lever to open the boss room, which in this case is this. You can tell by the old lantern statue right next to it. Somewhere a door to the old labyrinth has opened. Now the interesting thing about this is that the Chalice Dungeons actually have illusory walls. There's 0 illusory walls in the base game, but the Chalice Dungeons do have them, so it is actually worth paying attention here. I don't... Oops. Ow. Nice combo. Goddamn. That was unfortunate. I thought I was gonna make that swing set. Oh well. The door stays unlocked, so we have to just go back down here. I hope he picks up my soul, so I don't have to go upstairs again. Well, to be fair, that was a pretty dumb and cheeky way of dying, in my opinion. Like, that could happen to anyone. That's alright. Man Bango. I mostly meant the pay attention here to the enemies, because everything hurts like hell in this game. Alright, so this should link up to where we fell. If we're lucky, then what's his face will have our souls. What? Fucking jumps through the ceiling. Yeah, jump attack again while I'm right up next to you, why not? Oh, you're not actually as full as I thought. Right, it would appear that our blood is upstairs. You have my blood. Can I kill you from here, maybe? Does this throw high enough? No. Please give me my blood back, I need that. Someone fucking died. Let's quickly take care of all the enemies before we fuck around here and die carelessly again. Como hero rattles. Yeah, that will likely do it, but like I said, I wanted to kill this out first. Wondrous message indeed. Molotov cocktail. Yeah, I was trying for a Molotov because I still had that on my bar and it was quick and easy to just try, see what the throw looks like. But I'll have to actually put throwing knives on my bar to snipe the man. I can probably free aim a Molotov throw up there, but I can't be arsed. Let's see if this is enough to knock him down. I wanna waste my poison knives on a guy like that. Not that I plan on using them, not sure what I'm on about with the wasting thing, but whatever. He's standing a bit further back than me. Oh wow, you just fucking died to these. If I ever get the angle again. Probably from this side. Oh, wait, what? Oh, I ran out of knives, I'm an idiot. I feel like there's gonna be a stream full of, oh, I am an idiot sort of deals. I just wasted my last fire paper because I ran out of knives and pressed the use item button like a moron. Alright, cool, this is going incredibly well. Let's quickly run over to the boss just as the paper disappears. So we can get 0 value from it. So this is a gate that needs the lever to be opened. Just gonna quickly check these. Deal with our first undead giant. Everybody does that. I am getting... I don't know, I feel like I got stuck on this rubble on the ground, I couldn't move. I was trying to dash, but it didn't really dash that much. My timing's really so out of whack. Oh, I thought it was gonna crumble properly. Some very evil damage we just did there, cumulatively. And we get basically fuck all. We get a blood gem, we get 1 shard, a couple thousand souls, not really that much in general. And that was layer 1. So now we have an elevator here, which will bring us to the second layer. Thank you, cloth physics, you are beautiful. And so am I. lamp. Good thing we have our trusty hand lantern. I could honestly also just pull out a torch. It kind of is fitting for tomb explorations, isn't it? I feel like I remember parts of those, but not terribly well. I was trying to roll there again and it didn't work. I wonder if my controller is working. Or like is having issues or whatever. I'll blame the controller, that's not a big deal. It can handle it. Can't possibly be made of us working at like at most 10% functionality. As a little trap, does nothing because of the way it's placed, but it's kind of like a tutorial thing if you want. Hey, you making such a ruckus? Chill. Come on here. Oh right, that was a pressure plate. Yeah, I apologize, that's probably gonna happen quite a bit this stream. Probably also gonna have to take a break sometime soon. But I just wanted to play more Bloodborne. So we'll have to tank it this time. Well, care to share some? Because I, off the top of my head at least, wouldn't know any fun versions of that tale. God damn it. Nice. Yeah, gotta compete for air right away, it's very important. Completely agree with you on that one. That's pretty good. Only thing I remember about yawning is someone was suggesting it's like a reflex where like if we're sitting here yawning then that means we're safe, so like herd instinct says like it's safe to just chill or whatever. Something like that. Like if one of us can yawn, then everybody else is safe enough to also yawn or whatever, that sort of thing. Oh right, I don't even have my gun equipped, that would also help. Can you I swear I pressed the button this time. Nope, this is PS4. I am not a wealthy man. I should just attack him instead of trying to die. But also right, fudgining. Welcome in. To some sleepy cunt fails at Bloodborne, the stream. I like that I took a little corner, like a little evasive maneuver to avoid the center of this tile, even though I'd already triggered the trap. It's very smart of me. Hello, Bloodman. Let's check the other side. Must be where the lever is located. Is there anybody there? Okay, Spell Maiden appears to be to the right. Probably should go sort that sometime soon. I like that they finished their dramatic spawn animation only to then immediately die. It's kinda neat. Quicksilver. Is that one of these roly boys? It is. Alright, these guys are kinda nasty. in more ways than one. I don't remember how I want to deal with these. We'll just wing it. Oops, range is not in my favor. Look at you. Evasive maneuvers. Maybe no. Yeah, this looks good. More button twisting. Look at this absolute creature. God, actual damn. Well, they seem happy, so I sort of judge them too harshly. I think that's it for this room. Which means we're basically done with this floor, since the locked door was right by the entrance. Isn't there more stuff to kill here? I hear someone. I definitely am hearing someone. Are you down here? We were down here before. Oh. Maybe I'm just going insane. Not be surprising. I'll continue to obsessively check each and every one of these walls. Here we have boss number 2, which is just 3 of these guys. I guess they're not called jailers. What was I thinking of then? Probably some other Dark Souls related thing. Bloodborne is pretty good about giving you your visceral attacks even if you have your enemy on a sloped surface. It's usually an issue in these games. Bloodborne tries pretty hard. Alright, -1. That was good timing. Well, coincidence. Over myself. Are you just unloading into this pillar? Are you okay down there? You look troubled. Let me see if I can help you. Oh, you actually changed weapons. Nice. Good man. And we get the Petrumeru Chalice. If I remember correctly, that one allows us to make randomized dungeons for the Bethumaru Labyrinth, which is this first kind of labyrinth that we're currently exploring. There's, I think, 5 different types. They have a, at least visually, different tileset each. And there's probably some other differentiating factors, like different kinds of enemies, different kinds of gem drops and shit like that, but I'm not an expert on this, so I'll just let my cape do the floating. Must check, it's important. I'd kinda like if I could just rest at those to refill my supplies, rather than needing to warp back to the Hunter stream. An awkward little water unit there, friend. Let me absolve you. There's a summon here. Who's that? Prospector Oleg. Nice. The old Hunters DLC added a bunch of NPC summons to the Chalice Dungeons as well, which is quite nice. Never really tried many of them, so I don't know if they're at all competent, but it's nice that they added shit like that. Oh yeah, it's one of these rooms. Another one of these weird flower insect creature things. We'll sort that in a sec. Let's go around this way first, because they're kind of tedious to fight, and there's a Spell Maiden somewhere, so we need to take care of that. I think she's upstairs in the middle. The most fitting place for her to be. Look at this stream mode nowadays. Coming to say hello. There you are. So that's that done with. This place often has cannons on the outside of it. Like right there is one. Just walk by it. If we're lucky, we can maybe kite this thing into one of the cannons and just sort it out that way. Because just hitting it again with a weapon would take quite a while. There's also a lever here. I think that's for this elevator that's hanging up there by the torch. Good to know. Hey, how do you feel about poison? Let me know. Oh god damn, you did not enjoy that in the slightest. Alright, cool. I did not know that. That's a nice little weakness to exploit. Hello, friendo. Eh. Wait, that one? The back stuff? I disagree. Who cares? Game decides, I obey. Find some arcane haze. And look, in the Chalice Dungeons, they don't actually fully disappear. This little bit here with the flower on top stays around. Oh, I accidentally hit the Wandering Nightmare with the poison throwing knife earlier. I see. I was wondering what that was. Like the second damage ticks that were coming out. Very successful miss. Right, let's flip this lever. Let's explore the bottom floor first, actually. Let's just do this somewhat systematically. Run around in a big old loop here, and see where that leads us. Yeah, poison pretty good against these. Nice. Today I learned. I remember using poison knives against something in the past, but I didn't remember what. And I don't think it is these guys. I still think it was something else. Like maybe there's a Chalice bush that's really weak to poison or something. But yeah, having this as their weakness is very nice to know. Actually, maybe regular throwing knives do the same, since it is the initial impact that does a lot of the damage here. Obviously, it's nice that they just get poisoned instantly, but the majority of the damage is already from the impact, so maybe just throwing knives at the flower bit is already the way to go. I tried shooting the flower bit when we were in Bergenworth, but I think I just missed a few times. I gave up. Oh goodness gracious, I'm so sorry. Ay. See, I'd normally mute myself, because it's just one button away, but I can't really do that on the PS4 sadly, so just have to tank that sort of thing. Share the yawns. Double-sided cage. Seems very inefficient at holding people hostage. I think there's the lamp to the right here. Must be fairly close. The elevator, not that we need it. Fuck you, mate. I think the challenges are conceptually really neat, and the way that the narrative just fits them so well, also is a massive plus point for them, but just for the like long-term random exploration stuff, they just don't do it for me, sadly. I wish they did, because I'd love to just sink infinite hours into this, but I kinda just don't enjoy them enough. Thought I saw something. Is this one of these rooms? No, it's not. Just had a very unfortunate flashbacks. Ritual material waits ahead, thank you. I was just gonna randomly turn back anytime. I mean, there are a few neat little tidbits here and there, like the better gems. You can get some really crazy good gems in this. You can get the alternate weapons with the different sockets, which goes hand in hand with the gems, I guess. And even if just to keep pushing your build further, like with the half HP stuff that's going on in some of them, this is kind of the hardest regular content. Like, sure, you could do New Game Plus, but New Game Plus has at least the same issue, if not even worse, with the same layout being repeated over and over because it's not randomized. So I'm not sure if for myself it's the reward that's missing, it's just... I don't know. They just don't do it for me. Like, both the story ones as well as the random ones just aren't terribly interesting. They're just, I don't know what it is. Maybe the environments are just not interesting enough. If I can see it being like tiled and shit, and like, oh, it's this room, oh, it's that room over and over, then it just doesn't work for me for like a game like Bloodborne. Bloodborne seems to just specifically need that sort of, or like Souls games in general likely, just need that specific sort of handcrafted touch, if you will, whereas like every area is like unique and special and the item locations are meaningful and you have things to like think about. I don't know. Towards another extreme. Oh, thank you, Mr. Messenger Man, lighting the lantern for me, letting me know that I've been here now. And another extreme for the Chalice Dungeons is that I think the formula of gameplay that the Souls games have just don't have that much long-term value within a single game. Like, this is, for all intents and purposes, a very oh wow, that's fast. This is, for all intents and purposes, a very basic bitch combat system. Like, the only thing that makes it interesting is how high committal and, like, stamina managey it is, but outside of that, it's fairly generic action RPG combat, like third-person, like, character action game, I think people call it, sort of combat. There's nothing inherently like super difficult to pull off. You're not really honing your skills for any sort of long-term gain. Even the sort of difficult things, like let's say parrying or like iframing with the roll, are fairly generous compared to actually difficult things that you would need a long time to master. So I think the main thing that keeps the games themselves fresh is just that you usually only go through them like once. And you keep encountering new enemies, you keep encountering new environments, and like the game itself needs to keep it fresh. Whereas once I figure out how to beat a guy like this, it doesn't matter if I have half HP, or if he has twice as much HP, or like if there's like 2 or 3 of them. Really it just boils down to it's the same... It's like a puzzle, basically. You eventually learn how to fight each and every one of these enemies individually, and sometimes it's nasty when there's a lot of them, but then you just kind of kite them and pull them apart. But once you've solved it, it's just not that interesting, in my opinion. So like the Chalice Dungeons, even though the layouts are randomized and like the enemy selection is somewhat random and the enemy placement is somewhat random, that doesn't really matter that much because each and every fight feels fairly similar still. Like it's still quote-unquote just Bloodborne combat, for better or worse. And don't get me wrong, I don't think this combat is like particularly bad or anything, it's just, however, also not particularly fancy. Like, compared to, for example, Neo, where you have a lot more options for how you wanna build your character, what kind of special moves you want to have, what weapons you're using. You even have 2 weapons that you're constantly switching between at any time. And like, there's a much higher like amount of depth to the actual combat, it feels like. Or at least it goes wider as well, so you have more things to do with the combat system. Whereas this one just, once you know, okay, I can just walk up to this guy and hit him, and he will stagger and he dies, then that's that enemy solved. And once you know, hey, I wait for this attack, and then I either try to parry it or dodge behind and then backstab him, then that's enemy solved, and so on and so forth. Like, it just doesn't have that much, maybe staying power? I don't know what the correct word here would be. In my opinion, anyway. I think these offshoots before the boss, or in the entrance area, these are usually the ones that have the fancy stuff, like the good materials and shit, so it's worth keeping your eye out for them. At the same time though, that criticism of like, hey, once you've solved it, it's not that interesting, is kind of weird, especially coming from me, because I am one of the kind of players that keeps playing these games over and over. Like, I love this game, and while it is still comparatively my least played of the Souls games, that's still like me playing it multiple times on release. Like, I beat that game like 4 or 5 times when it first came out, and then I showed it to a mate and beat it again with that mate, and then in like Souls games, maybe I'll do some online-based stuff, like I'll do some co-op-based builds or PvP-based builds, and I'll try various weapons and shit like that, and I'll just keep playing it over and over. So why does it not get old so quickly? I have no idea. Why does this part so quickly get old for me? I have no idea. It is odd. Like that criticism of, hey, once you know how to fight it, you can fight it over and over, it's not a big deal, applies to the base game as well, right? So why do I replay it? Whom's the fuck knows? 'Tis not me. Maybe there it just comes down to the progression, like building up your character, finding the weapons that you want, like upgrading them, putting points into your stats and shit like that is definitely still part of the fun. So like, maybe that's where that progression part comes in. But you're technically still doing that with the Chalice Dungeons, like I said. You find better gems, and the top end of gems is really, really high, so there's no need to stop anytime soon. You keep getting blood echoes, you keep getting more and more blood echoes, most importantly, because your leveling costs go into ridiculous levels, and like, I don't know. Yeah, but I don't know how true that is, because, like I just said, I myself immediately defeat this argument with my own playstyle for these games. Like, if it is like a puzzle and if it is just boring to do over, why do I keep playing them? Why am I not just like, okay, I play them once and then I leave them for a year or two and then it's fun, fresh and interesting again? No, one release, I'll play this multiple times straight away. Just keep grinding, keep playing, because it's just fun. I don't know. I struggle to understand why. Like, yeah, exactly. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with playing them over and over. That's also another part to it. Like, just because I say, oh, it's maybe a bit like a puzzle where it doesn't do anything terribly fancy the second or third time around, doesn't really matter if you're enjoying it. So it's just, I wonder why I'm enjoying that, but not enjoying this, for example. Like, especially the plot Chalice Dungeons. I've only literally ever done the full set of them once. I do this first one a few times, like every, like, 2 or 3, like, characters I start, I'll be like, eh, fuck it, let's delve into at least the first Chalice Dungeon before we fuck off. Like, that I will do, but the full set I've only ever done once. I've only beaten the final boss of the Chalice Dungeons once. Why am I not doing it again? Wouldn't that be like a normal playthrough where I want to do it over and over? No, not really. Just, that doesn't interest me. I'd rather make a new character and just play through the main game again. Maybe different builds. I think the build stuff actually works quite heavily for the replayability, now that I think about it more, because I do usually, like, if I do play it over and over, I do usually do a different build. Like, I might say, okay, my second time around I'll do an arcane build, and then, oh, I'll do some blood tinge stuff, and oh, this weapon I really wanted to heavily invest into, and shit like that. Especially for the Souls games, that gives me very good reason to do it over and over. Yeah. I mean, rather, you don't need to remind me, but like, yeah, it's the same thing. I wish you could skip the cutscenes in Monster Hunter World. That would be such a fun game to just play over every now and then. Like the other day when I was in the mood to play Monster Hunter, I was like, hey, I should probably create a new character and just play around a bit, like do the early game again, like pick one weapon type that I'm usually uncomfortable with and stick with it, and just try to grind through the progression with that. And then I realized, yeah, then I'll also have to watch every single cutscene that has ever existed over again and listen to all the fucking stupid-ass dialogue from all these fucking people that I don't give a fuck about. And, I just noped and said, fuck it, not doing it. Like, I don't want to be dismissive of the story and the world and the characters and stuff in general. Like, it's fine if a bit bland, in my opinion. Like, I don't really care too much about any of the stuff that's going on, but that's a personal thing. That's not a big deal. If I could just successfully ignore it. But, like, if I wanted to make a character and, like, start playing Monster Hunter World, I'd probably have hunts that take, like, in the early game, 5 to 10 minutes. Followed by just as much exposition and cutscene and wandering through town and shit over and over. Like, the disparity between, or like the proportions between gameplay and cutscene or like story time would be so heavily skewed towards story time that I'd just not be having a great time with it. And that's just really sad, because I would be down to just play more World. But on the other end, if I just played one of my other more established characters, they are fairly, like, my main character in that game is effectively done with everything. I don't really need to do anything with that character, so at best I'd try to speedrun or whatever, but that's kind of not that interesting to me in that game. And, like, that's the opposite end of the problem where, okay, I have done the progression for the most part, now, what now? Who knows? So this boss is a pain in the ass. Not this version specifically, but there's one later. Goodbye, literally all of my friends. Oh, he got whatever the fuck. Nice. Can't believe I rolled out. Proud of myself. It's too early. That's not really unrolling. Let's trouble for a sec. Fuck. I think streaming this fight is kind of not a great idea, because the PS4 is already struggling with this fight with all the lighting effects going on. It's kind of like Dark Beast Parallel, where like the FPS just drop quite a bit, and streaming it just makes the FPS drop even more, which is not great. But we'll only do it once and then we'll fuck off, so it's probably fine. At least I'm assuming it's because of streaming it. I don't remember it dropping that low. Like, the game almost stopped there for a little bit while the stagger bullshit was happening with all the fiery explosions and the lava coming out of them. Yeah, exactly. Like, that, it's just so unfortunate. Especially for a game like fucking Monster Hunter that people are meant to play together. Like, it's designed around, hey, we do this as a hunt group thing. Like, together, Hunter, commission, blah, whatever. So, why make it so you can't easily co-op? Who the fuck knows? I thought I was gonna get a scroll there. Oh, right, it's this. look at the fucking absolute lack of FPS there. Jesus.
Afterwards. How do I keep forgetting that? Anyway, please die. So this is the easy version of this fight. In the plot chalices, there's eventually a fight against this guy where you have only half your HP or even less or something, and he will also be much stronger, so people very reliably get one-shot by that version of the fight. So many people have like trace amounts of PTSD from the fucking watchdog. It's not a good dog. That being said, for like back to Monster Hunter World, I'd probably run into that issue that I'm kind of running into with my like big man character as well, in that I feel like I've played enough of the various weapons in that game that no particular weapon really catches my fancy. Like I fucked around with them enough that I can on some like base level play the majority of the weapons well enough to be doing okay for myself. Like maybe I wouldn't be confident or comfortable in the hardest fights in the game or whatever, but like if you just put me into the beginning of the game, I'll probably be okay with every weapon in that game, because the weapons are fairly like, well, maybe the system mechanics are just strong enough to outweigh the weapon expertise, at least on like the basic level. Gregor. That name does not ring a bell. Anyway, off to Yahargul. Let's do some plot stuff. But yeah, so that was the first Chalice Dungeon, the Depth 1 Chalice Dungeon, and like, from there it gets deeper and has more, like, difficulty levels, more floors and shit. Oh, I see. Look who arrived the moment you wanted to mention Valheim, just so you can't mention Valheim anymore. Very fine. Get told. That's alright, Rufus? How are you still up? Shouldn't you be asleep by now? Are you up again for sleep woes? Can't possibly relate to those. Alright, goodbye. That was not the implication. Just a funny coincidence that the moment the man mentions Valheim, look who's there, or vice versa. How do E-legs go? Did the overhaul mod actually do anything useful? Or is it basically the same game? Because from the early bits that I watched before I fucked off, I didn't really see much different. I was thinking of replaying that game myself at some point, but if E-legs 2 is coming up eventually, I may as well just wait for that. Didn't mean to activate that spectre, just saw the use prompt, so here we go. Now we get to see another man die. As one does. I don't remember the exact path to go through this. I think I'm supposed to go into this building with the as of yet unnamed creature atop of it. Oh yeah, this is the shortcut all the way down, isn't it? Right. Is there another little side path here with some loot? I remember missing one of the key items in this area on my first playthrough, which is part of why I
missed the entire bit that got opened by that key. It's just easier to jump down here. Right. Oh fuck, I was reading chat. Immediately got shot in the face. Weapon at risk? Oh, what the fuck? Guess we should quickly head back and repair. Since we're basically right next to the lamp anyway. That'd be alright. The home and hearth stuff was kind of not as comprehensive as people were hoping for. Yeah, we were down to 60 out of 200. I forgot that this game doesn't automatically repair your stuff, that's dumb. Oh yeah, we have new blood gems, let's quickly see if any of them are any good. Let's just unequip what we have and put on the best stuff. Attack versus beasts, slow poison, no thank you. Some flat fist, skill scaling 12. That's 6 damage. This is a fire one apparently. I am not about that life, I don't think. Thrust attack, we won't be using that. Blunt attack, won't be using that. These are decent though. Nah, I think he was about to just ass out anyway. And I just joked that he shouldn't be here because Valheim. So he just took that opportunity and fucked off. Don't think it had much to do with you. Those are some decent-ish gems. Keep the regen one in there. We do have some... Oh, we only have 2 chunks, right. We just found a chunk in Yargo. We need 3 before I can do the next upgrade. I'm also not entirely sure I even want to do the next upgrade. I think maybe we'll just save that for the future weapon. I think I should be fine with +6 until we get the DLC weapon of choice. Oh, I should probably engage with them before they all pile onto the bridge. Don't you... Oh, is this not the laser bridge? No, it's the grabby bridge, I see. No, fuck! There's a bit of junk on the path. Clearly my hunter cannot step over that. Be cheating and unfair to the level designers. Alright, listen up. Woman will have to have words, and words, I mean words like soft labor and pain and blood. And goodbye your buff. So I always hate areas with, like in Souls games at least, with this concept, where there's an enemy that resummons people all the fucking time, so you have to either rush through or just slug your way through to kill the summoner, and then from there you can finally start exploring. That's not how I generally appreciate the exploration in these games. The Menses Ritual must be stopped, lest we all become beasts. Working on it, bro, I promise. But we'll have that for a few more rooms here with the old Spell Maiden making mates appear and making them smaller. And us having to rush through to sort that shit out. Yeah, this is the guy with the not fun bridge. Those are some lovely, lovely sounds down there. How will I ever get in there? Oh well. Fuck. I should probably commit to running through here, shouldn't I? The air rune. I thought that was a guy. I mean, that probably used to be a guy. Alright, wench. What are you laughing? Your mate just died. Wait, am I asking questions of being reasonable to these sorts of men, which are clearly going absolutely apeshit? It's maybe not the right approach. Right, so that's that door opened. Let's have a quick look back, see if we missed anything. Now that we don't have to run through anymore. Oh nice, you're hiding so far up the lamp that you can only ever hit the lamp. I am fine with that. Alright then. Oops, here. Don't you dare look at me. I agree note. Frenzied cold blood. Isn't this where you move on? No, that's down here. Remember, Fatty, treat child with care. Oh, this is the bit where you have to do the sneaky shit that I didn't find on my first time through. Hello friend, don't mind me. Just passing by. You keep watching. Seems to be your lot in life. I think I can backstab this guy. Oh. Fuck. I just upset the other one as well. Very nice. I'm doing this very well. You know what, let's actually not be stupid. I know that's always easier said than done, but let's actually go the correct way around and go find the Spell Maiden first before we fuck with these guys. Otherwise we'll be here not just all day, but until I die, which might not actually be that long, but you know. So if I remember correctly, we have to do some dumb shit. There's a little ledge you can drop off from here. I didn't see that on my first time through. Yeah, she's right below, so we jump down here maybe. Oh fuck, she's upstairs, isn't she? Oh my fucking god. Fucking perfect stun lock. Let me out.
Let me out! 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 Alright, so now that we have successfully juked these men, which was clearly the entirety of my intention right here, let's jump down here again, this time with a little bit more confidence. To actually go find the Spell Maiden, who's standing right here. I don't quite know how I didn't find this one on my first time through. Of course she's kind of out of the way, but the fact that these enemies keep holy fucking... Come on ladies, one at a time please. Okay, I kinda have to jump those now, right? Like, these messages are taunting me. Is there anything up here before I commit to jumping down there? Is the dead Spell Maidens, some bullets... But yeah, I don't quite understand how I completely missed the Spell Maiden here, given that the enemies just kept respawning. I knew there had to be one here, but I just didn't find her, and I just thought I had to push on until I was far enough, basically. Nice, I'm part of the cool club. Wondrous message indeed. Oh, all's well. Nice. Good thing I'm a parkour master, evidently. This is the Upper Cathedral key, which leads to the Upper Cathedral Ward, which is something we were investigating a long time ago. Juicy double damage from the buff having disappeared. Right, where's the Mad Gunner? And this is the tiny Tornitrus, I think, which is kind of a cool item. Yes. So the Tornitrus was that flail-like mace that we found, which does the sparks bullshit, like the lightning stuff. And the tiny Tornitrus is a magic use item. It is right here. Tornitrus is a unique weapon crafted by Archibald, the infamous eccentric of the Healing Church Workshop. This is a similar Morningstar mace that was, sorry, that utilizes quicksilver bullets. When struck into the ground, it recreates the blue sparks that are said to surround the dark beasts. Like Archibald's masterpiece, this too is a superb conductor of the powerful blue spark. Basically, you slap it onto the ground and you create a chain of electricity that goes forward. It's like a line AoE sort of thing, frontways. Morningstar Flail Mace, I say sorry. I'm always a bit rusty on the technical weapon terms, as you might have noticed by now. Well, this man is standing up there. Let's have a quick look at some of the other stuff we found. We found the Upper Cathedral key. The key to the Upper Cathedral Ward seal. The upper echelons of the Healing Church are formed by their School of Menses, based in the Unseen Village, and the choir occupying the Upper Cathedral Ward. This key brings one a step closer to the choir. Basically, Unseen Village is Yahar Ghul. We've been there through the Snatcher bullshit that happened previously. And we're currently re-exploring that, now that the Blood Moon has come out, basically. And this key, on the flip side, brings us towards the choir, which is the upper asses in the Healing Church. And that's where we will be sometime soon. Did we ever check those? I don't think those. That's the DLC key. The eye of a blood-drunk hunter. Its pupil is collapsed and turned to a mush, indicating the onset of the Scourge of Beasts. A hunter who goes drunk with blood is said to be taken by the nightmare, destined to wander forever, engaged in an endless hunt. It is a fate that no hunter can escape. Unfortunate. Anything else new that we didn't check? There's some of this material stuff that we can check in a second. I don't think any major other items have been missed. Nope. Okay, cool. Let's see. So, we have 2 mold. Mold that grows from rotten flesh and blood inside the old labyrinth, matures to bear giant spores. Arcane haze. The tiny smatterings of haze that are found in certain ritual materials, sometimes required for special rites. The additional rite Sinister Bell makes the bell-ringing woman appear, and when she rings a Sinister Bell, hunters from other worlds will be beckoned as adversaries. Basically, it allows enemies to invade you. Bloodshot Eyeball, we know these.
Pearl Slug, we know these, and that's it. Okay, cool. Let's have a look at these two challenges. Yes, chalices that we found. Also, Air Rune level 2. Don't think there's any we haven't read yet. Nope. Alright, so, Bethumaru Root Chalice. Root Chalice that breaks multiple labyrinth seals. Root Chalices used in rituals to break old labyrinth seals are said to change the labyrinth's form each time. The old labyrinth was carved out by the Bethumarians, whatever, superhuman beings that are said to have unlocked the wisdom of the Eldritch Truth. And we have the central Bethumaru Chalice. A chalice that breaks a labyrinth seal, but only a root chalice changes the shape of the old labyrinth when used in a ritual. The old labyrinth was carved out by the Bethumarian superhuman beings that are said to have unlocked the wisdom of the Eldritch Truth. Never mind, that's exactly the same fucking description. I'm disappointed. Oh well, off we go. Can you believe this shit? Like, we found two different items and they say the same thing. Like, bro, look at me when I'm talking to you. Like, okay, sorry, I'll not bother with my whinging. Whatever, just move on. There's nothing. It's okay. Alright. Oh yeah, since you're still here, hopefully, Bango. I was playing Hunt with Zorolus yesterday very briefly, and we were kind of getting annoyed at people that kept teaming up on us. Like, we were always in these situations where there's like, oh, a team from this side, a team from the other side, when will they ever start shooting each other and shit like that? Oh my god, there's 6 people, yet they're all going for us, you know, those sorts of situations. And then eventually, after a few games, Zorolus goes like, wait, do you have trios selected? And I'm like, oh yeah, shit, I did play trios with Mango the other day, so whoops. And suddenly all made a little bit more sense, at least. Turns out we've been playing against trios, and that's why they kept quote-unquote ganging up on us, because it was just more than 2 every time. Ow. Oh yeah, I should probably show this. So, this man has eyes. And when he does his laser eye bullshit, then shit explodes. That's not nice. This is the laser bridge I was alluding to earlier. Did that lamp just lot in super late? Goddammit lamp. Oh, also I actually checked the... Oh, fuck. Please. What was that aim? Hunter, please! Get a grip of yourself. Oh, fuck. Guess we'll reload here anyway. But yeah, I was checking the VOD yesterday from last stream, and it turns out when I was saying like, oh look, there's a part of the scenery that hasn't loaded, and then I looked back and it was loaded, and I got confused. That actually happened. Like, I was not insane. It did have chunks of the scenery missing, and the moment I turned back and looked there again, it was fixed. So I did not go insane. I'm proud of myself. I'm sure this is the same thing that happened here. Alright, let's quickly go repair. Maybe spend some souls. We could get this to +7 now. Decent little bit of an upgrade, but let's save these for now. Kinda wanna rather commit to the DLC weapon. If we get to the point where it feels like our +6 weapon isn't doing enough, then we'll add up to 7, but until then, we'll just stick with this. Just gonna keep dumping my blood echoes as they come. Anything special we need? Let's buy some throwing knives, just so we have some in case we need more to knock people off of bridges and the like. Alright, Wandering Nightmare, round 2. Aw, it missed, come on. Yes. Wait, this one doesn't get poisoned immediately. Wait, it came towards me though for a sec. I guess we all get confused a bit when poison knives suddenly enter our rectum. Can't really blame it. Anyway, so what I was going to point out is that this room should look familiar. We have been down there in front of that big statue with those double stairs and the big old, like, crashed bit of the ground there. Like, broken bit of the ground. Except this time there's a NPC hunter standing there. Oh yeah, they exist here, don't they? Kind of a pain. Hey friend, how's life? Are you sure you're okay just hanging here upside down all the time? That must be pretty bad for your head. Look, it's following me. Anyway, let's move on. Oh yeah, we have more of these people with their weird cages on their heads. So, someone in the comments of a video I saw the other day actually made a connection that I never made because I'm a fucking idiot. And that is that these cages do sort of resemble these heads, don't they? Like, that's kind of, like, looking at the head of this thing... Actually, I have the monocular, don't I? Want to get a closer look. Like, these weird, like, bony sort of structures around it kind of do look like a cage around a, like, squishier inner bit, maybe like a brain or something, doesn't it? And maybe that's what the School of Menses was trying to recreate with these cages. I never made that connection myself, and my mind was blown when I read that. That happens in Bloodborne sometimes. This also happens in Bloodborne sometimes. Like, you have a statue that starts off already kind of weird, and then it just goes worse. The bigger it gets, and the more you look at it, the worse it gets. It's just not nice. If you follow this path of madness, eventually you'll end up with weapons like Morningstar flail axe maces, which is kind of sort of craziness that we cannot condone. So now we have Spell Maiden and some dogs. Dogs are not fun, and especially if they keep getting resummoned. Isn't the maiden right around the corner here though somewhere? Like, I think she's very nearby. This one anyway. Maybe she's right through this door. Oh, there she is. Very cheeky little hiding in plain sight sort of spot. Let's start by taking care of this guy. He did not recover, or take long to recover from the stagger there. It's kind of neat that the gun-using hunters, or tool-using hunters, always drop you quicksilver bullets. I've never ever managed to really run out of them, because even on my arcane builds I usually use the sort of pseudo-magic tools very sparingly, only when it made sense to use them, kind of, rather than just shooting them all the time. But just getting that sort of steady supply is nice. We're also very good on blood vials, I think. Reeks of Hunter, I agree. Pure reinforcements, caller. Interesting way of phrasing that, but the message is still perfectly clear. So yeah, this is good old Yahar'gul. The, what's it called? Hypogean Jail or whatever the fuck the lamp was called, that we never actually checked, now that I think about it. But yeah, we've been here before, and this door was what was connected all the way up there to the sort of hidden part of the cathedral. Nightmare rituals crave a new one, find one, and silence its harrowing cry. Now this makes a little bit more sense than it did previously, doesn't it? We have opened this in the past, so we have access to the majority of areas here. We're pretty close to a lamp though, so I don't mind taking a fight here. Also, you can already see in the distance, due to the very odd lighting here, that there's a second hunter sitting around there, and this one has a fucking cannon strapped to his arm, because why the fuck wouldn't they? So, it's easy to go down here and think, haha, I'm just gonna fight this one guy, but then second guy will ass up and make your life miserable. Can I pull you, maybe? Oh, he has two friends, actually, never mind. I remember running in circles here for many, many minutes. Whee! That's the tiny tornadoes he's using now. Oh. Oops. Missed my exit. Oh fuck. An ambush. Okay, we got one. Oh fuck, let me up. Ooh, nice try with the cannon, sir. I wonder how much that would actually do. Cheeky thrust through the railing. I'm getting away with murder. Well, hopefully. Oh, he accidentally landed on top of me due to the fucking railing now. That's not alright. Oh. I should pick up the loot from the third guy in case I die. Claw mark. I think that's another beast hook. Whew. It's a terrible choice. Oh. It was a good choice for him with the sprint attack. I wonder if you can parry the whip, because it is fairly slow. Wood flame sprayer when I try that. Some fucking voice recognition shit going on. Almost out of healing. Hoping to hit the spear guy as well. Alright. Oh! The ambush. Right, well I leave to pick up the other guy's loot. Healing maybe? Nope, not much knowledge. You were very fast, sir. I'm impressed. Where the fuck is he going? He's playing super defensive suddenly. Guess what happens when your mates are all dead? I didn't remember just how far that attack would go, so I wanted to play it safe. range. No, I messed that up. God damn it. So close. God, I'm such an idiot. I should have had that end. I thought if I, like, attacked sideways a little bit, then his third thrust would whiff on my left side, but as I was doing it, I immediately recognized that that was not gonna happen. Fuck. Oh well. Remember how I said the gun users always drop Quicksilver bullets? The moment I say that, immediately they don't. I guess I am not using the eye rune, so things are only occasionally dropping rather than always. Right, normally NPCs don't respawn. Yep, this is one of those cases, so we just have Spear and Cannon made. Right, let's try this again. Come here then. How the fuck was that not in range? I think the little ledge from the pillar pushed me too far away. Good cannon shot. Oh, once again, this tiny little bit of terrain is fucking me over. Right, come over here maybe. No, now we have elevation, which can be just as bad. Madman's knowledge. Oh, never mind. 20 Quicksilver bullets. That was totally worth. Alright, so, how do we best explore this? I think we'll go downstairs into the prison first, maybe. Let's do that. I don't think there's anything terribly interesting here, aside from some minor, Those are advanced werewolves. Also, I hear the baby crying again. Damn it, Margot, keep track of your child. Well, it's not your child, anyway. So these are basically like the werewolves we fought at the start of the game, except they are malformed as fuck. With some extra limbs and extra gruesomeness. They are not very nice to look at. As are many things down here in Yahar'gul, now that the blood moon has risen. Like, look at this monstrosity of teeth and rib cages, limbs and flaily, gribbly bits that keep functioning despite death. That meant also surreptitiously is about from the moon, uncover the secrets. Yes. We have basically done that. So we woke up after getting snatched earlier. I think Parl is down here if you haven't fought him previously, isn't that true? When I say something funny happens down here if you haven't been here previously? Oh. Anyway, the main interesting part is that now that the blood moon has fully occurred, the snatchers are no longer needed, so you find them possibly squashed or smashed against various walls in various places down here. And they give bloodstone chunks, which is nice. Shut up, baby. Imagine doing all this ritual, blood moon, craziness stuff just to get pregnant. Like, Jesus. Can't be that hard to make a baby. Even in a world like Bloodborne. Hello. They still do the super slow winding up grab with millions of active frames for you to parry. I think they can sometimes drop the higher tier material as well. The rocks or chunks or whatever the fuck they're called. Anybody home? I think there's another, yep. Another dead snatcher over here. More chunks. Yes, please. Remember fire. I do remember fire. Playing this with decent headphones actually just is pretty interesting because of all the extra little tidbits you pick up on and extra stuff you hear. Well, anyway, we are outside. Let's have an oogle around. I'm sure we'll see nothing too bad. After all, how bad could it be? So I can't help but think these look clowny as fuck. They're basically like tiny skeleton clown cards on wheels or some shit. Like, they just drag themselves across the environment. Like, hey, you've gotta slap someone with all their extra limbs. Bit nasty, definitely, but could be way worse. Could be this guy, for example. That guy seems to have it way worse. We'll stick to the left side for now. Do a little bit of thorough exploration as we are wont to do. Wants to do, I should say. Nothing on this side. No. Okay, so this just loops back up to the no longer bonfire. Bunch of mates up to the left. See what's going on here. Oh, that was faster than I thought. Man, I'm really indecisive today. It took me forever to decide how I wanted to handle that situation. As a result, I got slapped twice. Once from one guy and once from the other guy. Anyway, these will all respawn if we don't kill the Spell Maiden, so let's not waste too much time. I think she's over here, maybe? Yep. Alright, sorted. So this place used to just have a few dogs. Now it has these weird skeleton abomination cards. There's another one down there. There's another dead snatcher. But more importantly, we have something else to work with. An ambush. But even more importantly than the ambush, we have an elevator. Which leads us all the way back up to our first bonfire of this area, which is fun. We're not going to be taking advantage of that right now, but if we die, we might take that path instead. We also have another one of these just drop out the elevator lol sort of moments right here. We can use these stairs on the side to go back down if we need to. But alternatively, we can also just die here to various dogs and other horrific beings. Not that I mind dogs at all, IRL, dogs are lovely. Usually when dogs are bad, it's the owners that are bad. Yeah, only the Chalice Dungeon one just got poisoned immediately. I wonder what that was about. Bloodstone chunk. Very, very nice. And there's a werewolf over here. Might be able to, or maybe I shouldn't call them werewolves because they're like kind of fleshy, weird monsters rather than regular old werewolves. I wonder if the implication with that leg sticking around the back is that for a normal werewolf, that's where the tail would be. Maybe it was always a leg, it just had fur, so we didn't notice. That being said, there are these extra limbs on the side there to the left, for example, so probably not. These are probably just other horrific beings. Can't be that horrific if we can fist them. Twin bloodstone shards and some more chunks. One chunk. Still, it's the count of thoughts. So over here we have this little basin in this room, which we can use to teleport to another basin that is connected. We won't do that right now because I want to do this area in like the order that I enjoy clearing it in, somewhat thoroughly and one step at a time, whereas it would kind of skip us forward deeper into the area if we were to follow the teleporty bit, so we'll just do it the regular old way on foot. May as well send this elevator up in case we die. Maybe I actually want that down, whatever. We'll just not die, smiley face, that's how we do things. That always works. Just say, I don't want to die. Then they legally can't kill you. Look at this poor guy. He's not having a great time. Behold, a pale blood sky. Is it? Is that it? The pale blood sky? Not sure we should be happy about this other sky, to be honest. Like, no offense. Anyway, so there's a guy down in here. Oh wow, that's sounds further than I thought. Don't grab me, Frodo. Also, don't become a horrific mutilated abomination, Frodo. More chunks. It seems the game is softly implying we should be upgrading our weapon towards +9 or eventually +10 now. That seems unreasonable though. Let's not do that. Let's instead throw a poison throwing knife and see how many people we upset. Okay, that's a bit too low. Let's try higher. I miss. It's normal. I'm used to this. Come on, that was so close. Alright, fuck it then. We'll take it this way. That always looks hilarious to me, how it like forces itself through this tiny opening. Right there for the end. Hey, loot. What do we got? Kin Hunter's Damp Blood Gem. Nice. It's probably exceptionally useful. More chunks. So now we do the old pull one at a time and retreat. So as long as we take it slow and carefully, we should be absolutely fine. Contrary to what you might believe, if you watch me play on Showdown, for example, I am actually really good at slow and steady and carefully and one at a time. Who wants next? Come on. Who wants to be gribbled? Come on. There you go. I was being too sneaky. I apologize. What, that one shot me! Excuse you, sir. That wasn't even that big of a swing. Like, it wasn't even the I flatten you now thing. Is the other bonfire better? Yeah, I think it's better. Fuck it, I don't feel like dealing with these dogs plus Spell Maiden. We still have to deal with a Spell Maiden coming this way around, but it's probably not a big deal. We can handle it. Up here, and we go back to Yargo, the Unseen Village, because now we have the elevator, which we had wisely sent back up. Did not bite us in the ass. Man, that one shot was rough. I'm not happy about that. We have 25 vitality as well, like, come on. Oh yeah, speaking of progression stuff in the Chalice Dungeons, there are also the higher level runes that you can access. There's the higher level for Metamorphosis and counterclockwise Metamorphosis, like clockwise and counterclockwise. Those are both pretty good to have on a higher level, the increased stamina and health ones, for example. Trying to think about which, how many there even are that have unique existence in the Chalice Dungeons, or at least higher levels in the Chalice Dungeons, but I'm not really an expert on that sort of thing. But yeah, if you do actually go all the way through the Chalice Dungeons and fuck around with them for a while, you do end up becoming much more swole than what your character would usually be. So it definitely has its value and merit, but oh well. Guess enough about the Chalice Dungeons for now. Let's try to focus on getting back to where we once were. There's like 5 things to go and then we're done. This town is indeed pretty finished, I'd say. Any loot? No loot. Alright. There was this card coming up and down here. Come up close. Don't wanna be backstabbed by you in a second. Yeah, that move one-shot me last time. That did not look like a one-shot move, did it? So as long as I play it very slow and safe, we should be fine. Oh wow. Oh, I was very scared there. He did his flailing much shorter than I anticipated, so I suddenly had the fear of getting one-shot again. Man, it only needs to happen to you once, and then all of a sudden these enemies feel very different to fight. I didn't expect getting one-shot, especially not from such a limp-looking attack, and then here we are. That's the playthrough. I'm gonna be like, fuck, hate these guys, I have the fear. I think we were missing a few percent of health, like 5 or so. Maybe it wasn't technically a one-shot, but I don't know, counted in my book.
Basically anything that does an exorbitant amount of damage, just out of the blue. I am dumb. My Rin was about to autopilot to fighting the like normal enemies. This time you do the long version, that's kinda weird. I will top off in hopes of avoiding what is inevitable. Can you tell I'm slightly miffed by that one shot? Probably can't. Come on then. Mob. It's sort of interesting because I'm generally not very upset when I die. Like earlier, for example, when we got knocked off the walkway and then got comboed to death. That didn't really bother me that much, but randomly getting one-shot like that, especially if you're not like on a challenge run or something, just feels so wrong. Like if I'm doing a level 1 run and the late game enemy one-shots me, then cool, that's my fault. But I feel like we have a decent amount of health here with 25 in vitality. Like we shouldn't just, or bigger, or whatever the fuck it's called. We shouldn't just fucking die, in my opinion. Especially not from an attack that isn't like, big man wind up, whoa, you're about to die if you don't flee, sort of thing. So just this out of the blue, massive amount of damage always feels rough. Anyway, the important thing is that we went all the way here because there's absolutely nothing here. But I had to clear this area out anyway for obvious reasons. Have to be thorough, kill all the things. I mean, realistically speaking, these fucking creatures have to die, don't they? Like, I'm probably doing them a favor, and the world, if we're honest, so we had to go for that. Shut up, baby. Was there actually a baby? Am I going insane? Who knows? Good spot for a message. Good job, sir. Right, so last we were here, that door there was closed. And since we get a much better look at the horrific bullshit that's going on here, we can now say for certain, or we will be able to say for certain in a few seconds, that we prefer this door to stay closed forever. Like, game, please. It is not nice. Don't do this to us. Because dealing with 3 of these skeleton wagons was awful, and here we have a bunch more. And more Spell Maidens. She's right upstairs there, in the middle. No, that's someone shooting. I think she's up there anyway, though. This place also looks lovely. Oh, fuck. It's extra Nigel. I didn't think Nigel would drive a car. Seems like the kind of guy to just bum a ride from his mates. So this area is pretty interesting because you keep getting shot by various projectiles, but as long as you keep kind of dancing around, it's not that big of a deal. I think we can push up these stairs now. We'll have a look at the actual environment in a little bit because it is very interesting and creepy. Did you hear me talk about the Hunt Showdown effect you had on us earlier? Mambango, now that you're back with lunch, also enjoy food.
Oh, what? You'll do it again just for me, thank you. Lovely. Maybe these guys aren't so bad. I mean, they look horrific, they look monstrous and crazy, but maybe these guys are lovely. I see. Yeah, so I was playing Hunt with Sorolos yesterday, and we were getting really annoyed because we kept getting like double teamed on and like flanked from all sides, and like it really felt like people were just fucking teaming up against us, and we were kind of getting like we were doing okay in the actual fights and everything. Like it felt alright to play, but it just felt also a bit weird because it really did feel like they just chose sides, basically. Like, oh no, this team decides not to shoot this team, and then they push together or some shit like that. Yeah, so we struggled with that for a while, and then just as we queue up again, Sorolos is like, hey, mate, do you have trios selected? I'm like, oh, right. Right, I did a thing with Mambango the other day, and it remembers the selection, so we were playing trios all along, and the quote-unquote teaming that we were experiencing was actually teaming, because it was just actual trios fighting us. And yeah, that was definitely an experience. Like, we pushed into a boss room and, like, killed one guy in there, and then the other guy killed himself, and then we were like, oh yeah, nice, we have this boss room now. And then suddenly a third guy appears, we're like, holy fuck, some sneaky-ass solo is also hanging out here in this boss room. Like, yeah, fuck, what a champion trying to do some sick solo plays. I mean, we did win the engagement, thankfully, but like, goddamn, that's crazy that there happens to be a solo as we push this other duo in the boss room. And yeah, those sorts of moments. Yeah, we did continue playing on trios, and honestly knowing that it's trios made it a lot more bearable compared to thinking, why the fuck are these guys not shooting each other? There are 3 on this side, please shoot your mate who is totally open to the other side there. So, like, that sort of thing happened a lot. But yeah, once you know that, you can absolutely deal with it and play around it. We did have fun with that, albeit short-lived since man had to go to work. But yeah, it's pretty fun playing 2v3s. Works out alright most of the time. So on this side is the other teleporter bit. So if we had taken that one when we unlocked the shortcut, we would have appeared in here, which is basically the middle of the second half, I would say. So I wanted to avoid that and instead just take it slow, one at a time sort of thing. We will cross this bridge though, because Bell Lady is right here, and we need to get rid of her for very obvious reasons. But it was really funny because literally the very game before Zeraldos noticed, I was like, man, it really felt like that one guy that was standing completely open to that side, they should have just been able to kill him. Like, how were there so many people and they just didn't kill each other? That just doesn't make sense. They must have just barely missed each other, or maybe they thought, hey, if we just let this guy live, he'll cause enough distraction for us or something. Like, man, it really feels like they're teaming up on us, at least like on a smaller scale. Like, this team is not shooting that team, but that other team, they will happily shoot. Like, that's very suspicious, very odd. It's pretty good. Just, what happens when Brain is like, nah, not today. Yeah, definitely, and I mean, we had plenty of situations where it wasn't just like a trio, but like 2 or even all 3 trios on the map, like hanging out in the same area, so, like, there was definitely a lot of overlap and still flanking going on. It's just, it felt so ass to play against when they coincidentally, or maybe even intentionally, teamed up against us, but once you know, oh no, they're just trios, it's fine, it's not just 2 and a very lucky random, it just works out a lot better and makes a lot more sense. So I haven't commented on this fucking environment very much. I was gonna expect that closer once we fully cleared this area, but it's kind of unavoidable in this hallway. This shit is fucking nightmare fuel in my opinion. It's one of the more oppressive areas, I think, of the game. Like, overall, the way these people were, like, kind of washed or melded into the walls and, like, fused with the stone. Like, that shit looks pretty rough. And some of them look like they're struggling against it, like they're all running away towards the walls, trying to climb or escape or whatever. Just not really having much of a chance. This area is just full of that sort of environment, like, on all the sides. We can't really explore this yet because, like I said, there's these enemies around, which isn't ideal. Oh, radio projectile one. God damn it. Can I commit to this fight without aggroing everyone all? Let's find out. Oop, there's another one. I got one shot by these guys earlier. Like, not from one of the bigger wind-up attacks, but rather like I was hitting them and then they retaliated one of those flat wave slaps and it just completely killed me from, I think, full HP or very close. Not that one. Not that one, it's the same. This one. It came from the other side, but that sort of light sideways attack just one-shot me and I was very upset. I was going on a little ramble about how I usually tank these sorts of stuffs in these sorts of games fairly well, but like randomly getting one shot always just feels so ass if you're not doing specific unusual challenge of your own making. Like I feel 25 vigor or vitality or whatever I have right now is an appropriate amount of health for this sort of place. And as a result I feel like I shouldn't be getting randomly one shot. But yeah, just fucking look at this place. This is so horrific. Like, imagine being trapped here with this door being closed, and then some sort of catastrophic event just happens, and you're just... everybody is fleeing, trying to climb away, run away, and they're just kind of... getting absorbed by the walls or whatever, getting drained of blood, most likely, turned into various statues and horrific bullshit. Like, it's pretty fucked up. Statues big and small. Always one of the more gruesome areas of the game, in my opinion. Yeah, but if they manage to not become part of the thing we haven't seen yet, then why are they still in this state? Like, what happened to them? Like I said, it looks like they were just kind of drained of blood or whatever and fused with the environment and the walls and shit, but like, how, why? It's insanity. Who knows? Couldn't tell you. There's also another one. So, like, on my when I started uploading these to YouTube, which I've started doing, by the way, I said in the first part's description that I don't think I'm playing this in a style that's very conducive to someone's first-time experience. While I am trying to pick up on the majority of dialogue and item descriptions and shit like that, I'm not exactly playing this in a manner that really highlights how it would feel to play this for the first time, because I'm just kind of wandering through. I'm not really terribly fazed by what's going on. I generally know where I am, I generally know what I'm doing, and like, overall it's just not really the sort of first time experience that you would want vicariously if you couldn't play this game for yourself. And like, this is definitely one of those areas, because when I was playing this for the first time, I was so creeped out just sneaking through here with the fucking horrific pseudo-werewolf monsters and the environment just being absolute nightmare fuel and everything. But nowadays I just like, this is neat, and just kind of keep going, ramble about random shit while murdering my way through town. And yeah, this area definitely is one of the highlights of, hey, you should probably not take this as your first experience to Bloodborne. Yeah, they definitely were just going about their day and suddenly this bullshit happens. How or whatever the fuck this bullshit was. I mean, it very likely was the appearance of the blood moon, but like, the exact ways this played out would have been pretty interesting to see, I find. Like, the way they're fused with the walls and shit just looks so weird and creepy. Like, they're obviously seeking out the walls and the places to climb, but then they just, I don't know, get fucked or absorbed or whatever. I mean, the enemies here with these, like, fused together bones and body parts and whatever also really highlight this sort of shit. it doesn't really explain the, hey look, we're becoming one with the walls sort of thing, rather than the just pressed against the walls. Because it's not like there's just pressure from the outside pushing them into the walls, they're also sticking out of the walls in various places, like their arms and shit like there, for example. So it's not just them being pressed against it and their bodies being crushed, like they actually just fuse with it and become some sort of weird amalgamation and mush. It's interesting because part of the whole beast transformation shit is also part of losing your physical form, at least to some extent. Like with the pupils becoming mushy, as it says in the, or becoming like a mush, like it says in the description for the Bloodshot Hunter's Eye, like the DLC key. And these statues also, like, these people fused together and shit like that. Like, the body transformation stuff is definitely fairly present and often involves the complete loss of form. We had the weird slugs and phantasm shit from the Great Ones. Yeah, but not really with inanimate objects so far, right? Like, I'm not completely disagreeing with your theory or whatever, just, like, for all intents and purposes, it's just very unusual is what I'm saying, and the effect is quite creepy. It's like everything was made of, like, sand or whatever, and it just suddenly became jello or inanimate, whatever the fuck. Anyway, I'm sure this room is lovely. This doesn't look problematic or ominous at all. Some weirdos on the left and right. I'm sure it's nothing to worry about. In my medical opinion, this moon is red. Or red, maybe. I don't know. I'm bad at German accents. Alright, Danian, you've come to the right place. Well, apparently aside from Lucky Fandango. But overall, we definitely don't say Oog here. I always like it when the soundtrack goes like... Like it does the string... Ow! How dare you? Well, I'm about to murder someone, you can't just interrupt me like that. I always like when the soundtrack does that little string instrument sort of staccato thing. It's very reminiscent of just like classic horror music. Anyway, so we gotta kill these to make this fight a pain in the ass otherwise. I'm also doing very poorly at this, so we'll probably die anyway, but may as well approach it with the somewhat correct strategy. Fuck you and your bolts, mate. I mean, I wouldn't call these ladies cows. They're my enemies, but let's not be too rude here. Haven't done anything wrong. Well, maybe they did something wrong, I don't know. Actually, scratch that, they certainly did something wrong. Still no need to be rude. Might as well just kill them and get it over with.
Alright, so with those gone, let's focus on the quote-unquote man himself. I kinda hate this fight. It's a bit odd, basically, is what it boils down to. Yeah, I don't get that then. Yeah, exactly. It's like Dead by Daylight, don't be rude. Terrible mistake. Exactly. Yeah, so this is, in my opinion, the premier boss fight to pop one of these Beast Blood pellets and go Berserk mode, because this guy has a shit ton of HP, and there are very long phases where you can just wail away at him without really worrying too much about anything. So if you combine that with the Beast Blood stuff, you deal a shit ton of damage, and we'll try that in a second. I did set this elevator back up, didn't I? Yeah, I think that's just an Australian thing though. It's probably not that impolite in Australia from what I know. Now the whole throwing piss at people thing, that's a little bit more rude. Like he's definitely fucking up in that regard. So I usually get this boss in 1 or 2 tries, so I'm not used to running all the way back here to the actual fight. We might fluff this up and have to try a few times. I don't think nature generally involves storing European jars, but maybe I've just done nature wrong all my life. So I think we can just run to the boss gate from here. Fuck those quicksilver bullets. Would be very unfortunate to die again, because all my souls will be gone, and we actually have a shit ton of them right now. I store P in the balls like any good gamer would. Which way you guys need fancy artificial containers for that shit? I also have no idea. It's stuck though, so they must have done something right. She fell onto me as she was falling down. God damn it, hitboxes. Oh, it's gonna miss. But yeah, speaking of the music and the like string instruments just going like that sort of thing, the Demon Souls soundtrack was chock full of that, and it always gave me a giggle. I always really like that about that soundtrack. It's comparatively the lowest fidelity soundtrack I would say of all the Soulsborne soundtracks, but or Soulsborne Kiro as we have to maybe say these days. But it's overall quite fun. Yeah, step on my toe as you're falling to your death. Normal. Completely normal. So how does that attack work again? Does it just... Who knows what's this attack? Holy... Okay, never mind. That was the worst possible time to attack. Very good. Yes, that is true. I think I just waited long enough that the attack window passed and that the actual attack finally came out and hit me. Like when he does that big casting bullshit, then after a little bit of time the corpses start falling down, is what my instinct told me. But then I was watching him and I was waiting for a bit and no corpses appeared, so I was like, huh, maybe I misremembered, and then the corpses appeared and I died.
Like, basically, I was exactly not patient enough to actually see if the attack came out properly, but also, like, so slow to actually attack to, that I would actually get caught and died. I'm not explaining that very well. Basically, I fucked up in the perfect way. There are like 3 ways that could have gone that situation, and I chose the worst possible among them. I also am pretty smart with levers, as it turns out. But yeah, as you said, the party mate on top is doing something fear. That was my impression as well, but I felt like I waited long enough for corpses to start falling. Like, there was no need for that to be even more delayed than it was. I'm guessing that as... oh, fucking little ledge. Some dead body ledge shot. I'm guessing that as soon as this animation starts, I can't be attacked anymore, so I can just run through. Man, I've said so much really funny and or really stupid stuff, but that of all things makes it in there. Also, that fucking misquote made it straight to the bot. What is love, baby? I also have no idea why that song was stuck in my head when I came up with the stream announcement today. I'm not sorry though. See, what it is that I'm just farming blood echoes on these girls. They drop 1,000 a pop, which is quite nice. So I can just get in here, kill all 6 of them, unfortunately die to the boss, and then do over, and I keep getting thousands of souls if I just keep doing that. God damn it. I should really put on some better runes at some point. I keep being too dumb to remember doing that whenever I'm in the Hunter stream. Alright, this time let's actually wait out the corpses spawning. Like, look how long it takes for that attack to actually take effect. Like, that is just way too long. I think it does it 3 times. Maybe only twice. Can I get there in time? Come on. Wait, don't I get a visceral? I thought I got a visceral from that. Maybe I'm dumb. Wait, why am I so low? What the fuck happened there? Didn't notice myself taking so much damage. Ow. Getting stuck on the very first limb, immediately taking over half my HP's damage.
literally all of my frames. Because the just getting higher and higher and higher. It's pretty neat. Not my favorite piece of the OST, but as it goes with OSTs, there's always a lot of divergence. Huh. Yeah, so for me, for example, I think one of the tracks that is very underappreciated is the Gascoigne fight theme, just for the way it heavily picks up during the third phase when he transforms. Like, the as he just starts chasing you down like crazy. That's always really good. I think that fits the fight so well and the change of pace. That's always been one of my initial favorites, and then, well, can't really say anything negative about the first DLC boss. In my opinion, the best music in any Soulsborne hero soundtrack ever. Yeah, I think that's my favorite. But yeah, generally the soundtrack is overall pretty good. I think the a lot of the creepy music as well. Like, for example, the Witches of Hemwick often go underappreciated when it comes to the soundtrack, because like the fight isn't very bombastic, the fight isn't terribly interesting or whatever, but the music really tries its hardest to sell it as something creepy or suspicious, unusual going on, which is quite nice. Alright, let us quickly return to the Hunter's Dream, and I'll have a quick bathroom break. BRB.
we see something? Right. They're not online anyway. Man, I can't wait to go back to using my normal headphones and standing microphone combination. I've really gotten so fucking used to that, it's so convenient. Not having a thing next to your face the entire time. Like, I was checking out the VOD the other day, like I was saying earlier, and just my heavy breathing into the microphone, not directly but often, that alone annoys me quite a bit. Doesn't really line up well that I'm also like congested the entire time. Also sounds so different to what I'm used to now. Hey look, we have something here on the Nightmare headstone. That looks, or sounds, like a lovely place. Alright, let's start by repairing. I am now paranoid about my weapons durability running out, so I'll apparently be repairing all the time. Yeah, let's hope it doesn't go that far. Although I hope you would let me know if it ever started going that far. We have the Claw Mark rune. The Claw Mark is an impulse to seek the warmth of blood like a beast. It strengthens visceral attacks, one of the darker hunter techniques. Although the difference is subtle, Runesmith Carol describes the beast as a horrific and unwelcome instinct deep within the hearts of men, while Claw Mark is an alluring invitation to accept this very nature. So 10% basically repulse damage or crit hit damage. It's pretty decent, not the worst. Possibly should have put on that rune for the other situation. Oh well. Let's upgrade this one. And do we stick with the 10% stamina or do we choose something else? Could just do this so we get some more items. I don't think I'm in desperate need of anything, but let's see how are we doing in terms of stock. Oh yeah, we're actually not that far on, or not that full on blood vials. Look at that. It's only 82 blood vials total. So if we ever do get to the point where I start using a lot again, we might still be in trouble. So I'll probably keep an eye on those.
What? Good hunter. Very well.
Nothing new from you. Let us quickly do this, maybe. Is it still... It's 34, 33... I don't know. Can't deduce exactly which, what the soft cap is, or if we've already met it.
Farewell.
Gian. Anything new or interesting here? Probably not, because we didn't get any new badges, but may as well have a quick look. Yep, absolutely nothing. Okay, cool. Let's get these blood vials as a way to dump blood points. Oh yeah, we should quickly check the inside bath. I very rarely check that one, so may as well see if there's anything cool to buy. Okay, but can buy lit elixirs now. Punch blood cocktails. Ooh, we can even buy chunks. We have 16 exactly, so we could upgrade one weapon to +9 if we wanted to commit to that. Oh yeah, so this is the short ritual root chalice. This one we can use to like join multiplayer, or not multiplayer, other people's chalices basically. Anyway, let's just read the description. The glass chalice, when full, is used in a short ritual to quickly create and join a chalice dungeon, not for use in a ritual using standard materials. Short rituals are conducted at the makeshift altar. So you basically go to someone else's dungeons that they've made, chalice dungeons that they've made, which is kind of a neat concept. And there have been some very interesting and unique dungeons found over the years, so it's worth having this and having a look at some point, but that point might not be right the fuck now. I think we're going to... Okay, so we have the new, like the new story point is that, fuck, we were just there, but I forgot. Like the student place, basically. And from there we have two big areas to go to. One is plot related, one is optional. And then we have 2 other optional areas unlocked at this point, which is Canehurst and the Upper Cathedral Ward. And we have the DLC Tusto Ugo. Now the DLC I'll do after the other optional areas, because the DLC is just about the hardest thing in the game, so we'll save that for basically last. But I want to quickly head in there to grab the weapon that I want, and I'm wondering if I should commit these 16 chunks to the weapon that I want, as in go to the DLC right now and try to grab it, or if I should upgrade the saw cleaver and just have that one be on +9 and use it for now and do another optional area first. Nah, I think Eileen should be fine. I seem to remember doing Eileen before this, or around this time. But I wanted to get my weapon to +9 before I do the Eileen thing. So I guess that means we quickly hop into the DLC and grab the weapon that I want. Good thing we have so few blood echoes on us, because we will inevitably die a few times trying to run through. I do not remember the layout well enough anymore, so we go to Cathedral Ward, as you always do in this game. I don't quite want to just run through the DLC area. I think I remember where it is. It's actually fairly deep in, like almost before the first boss, so we might have to run through. Oh well. I don't think any essentially swaggering will occur. It will mostly be like going, oh fuck, oh shit, everything is so strong, why are there so many of these? Why are they so swole? Help. Anyway, let's get grabbed by one of these guys.
Cursed fiends, their children too. And their children forever true.
I like that line. Hunter's Nightmare feels very spiteful and angry, and I really like that vibe of it. Oh hey look, we're in Cathedral Ward, just where you came from. Except there's no path here. We're missing the beggar and the NPCs and all that sort of shit. Anyway, let's light this lamp. I'm sure nothing bad could happen outside. No path on this side. There's a door here that will open from the other side later. Welcome to Nightmare Yarnum, basically. Sky looks much better. This is our first nightmare that we're visiting, actually, isn't it? We didn't do the other 2 yet. That's a very interesting looking sun, isn't it? Anyway, yeah, I don't know how we're gonna handle this. I'm gonna try to fight things at first, I suppose, and if it turns out that I'm okay at fighting these things, then we can try to do this properly, and if not, we'll fall back to just me running through and grabbing the thing I want and fucking off again. So there's some beasts being killed by a hunter. This must mean that this guy is nice, right? Hunters are good people. Right? I'm sure that he's just saying hello in his olden ways. That went further than I thought. all the Thunder Bows. Don't knock me down, Frodo. Tempering damn Bloodstone gems. Oh yeah, so that's one of the other benefits of going to the DLC area, is that some of the gems that you can get here are pretty decent. I don't think we'll commit far enough to actually get any of the good stuff, but hey. Find old Hunter gloves, which is the armor set that they're wearing. Or from the armor set that they are wearing. I got stuck in this fucking route that I couldn't see. Now... Better. That's a good amount of damage, so if I can just land a parry or two, these shouldn't be too hard to deal with. Blood boils. Very nice. Anyway, back up we go. So, in some way you could say that the Hunter's Nightmare reuses the already existent area of the map, and like, you're not entirely wrong in that assessment. It definitely does reuse it, but it reuses it in a very, like, clever or well-executed way, in my opinion. It's basically a warped and distorted version of this place, and it will shuffle various elements of it together, like with the good old Yarnum that we've been exploring. So many places will be very easily recognizable, but many will also be quite different, and there's a lot of unfortunate shit going on. So it's not exactly reusing it, but it's technically maybe reusing parts of it at least. Level design overall is pretty good though, if memory serves. There, I said it for the day. Some more beasts. It's a hunter, isn't it? That right there. Isn't it the hammer mate? The first one? I don't know. Let's just hop down and find out. Can I kite you over here and then we just have this big old brawl with this guy? Because I'd be into that. So that guy is using the boom hammer, which is a hammer that goes boom. And it is actually called that, it's not just a fun community name. Anyway, there's two of them fighting here now, so let me try to bother them while they're busy with the beasts. Don't go for me, sir, please. Maybe it's easier to bury them than I remember. That'd be nice. Oh, I thought he was gonna follow up. Gone. Really now? This is sort of unfortunate, you know, with the arsenal. I wanted to roll, but it jumps because it has the old control scheme, which is designed by monkeys. I hate that, by the way. Especially since at this point, or rather at the point of Bloodborne's release, Dark Souls 2 was already out, and Dark Souls 2 had solved the issue of jump and run being on the same button. Imagine that. Run and jump on the same button. Sounds like madness, even just in a vacuum. Now try doing that in a game where you might have to sprint away from mortal danger and then roll through danger again. And you can't, because your character will leap to the fucking sky and just get himself killed with some extra instability frames. Like, oh, you wanna escape? How about you take 40 or so % extra damage instead? Oh yes, please, Mr. FromSoft, I would like that. Give that to me, inside my body. Oh, is that not a parry? I fucking hate you. So, which one of these guys has my souls, I wonder? Probably one of the assholes on the right. So look down here. I think the added chaos really didn't help me that much. Load. Blood. This is another commentary. I find blood vile, I say blood. And there we go. That's it. We have peaked. Yeah, of course, whoever the fuck has my echoes is some guy from that other side over there. It's just gonna appear once I'm about to die anyway, or have already died. Yes, attack him. Kill him. Kill him! Not me! I like that I leave them alive with a pixel, of course, after 3 swipes. Oh, I thought those were... Hey, he killed the one that had my echoes. Something useful happened. Incredible. I got stuck on this fucking corner because you can't see shit in this fucking game. How did that miss? Come on. Fuck you. Oi, get! Ow. Sorry, I didn't mean it. I lied, I didn't mean it. Oh, I thought there was an attack. Oh, I missed! That roll catches so perfectly, they must have designed it with that intention. Yeah, hit him. Fuck him up. Good job, beasts. Let's go, Team Beasts. Fuck these hunters. I did it again. Oh, never mind, he's not following up. Good man, Beast. Oh, since you won't help me against the dogs anyway, may as well. Suddenly they're very aggressive, I guess. I'm just not as imposing as these other mates. Already took me 18 years in the first time around on the stream. Now the sniper version of course takes me even longer, because everything is trying to kill me. Alright, time for dogs, hooray! Yay! Come here, dogs! Make my day. Look how far this guy had to run to come to me. That's some scripted bullshit. That's not me aggroing a dog. That's a dog knowing exactly what its job in life is because some mean-ass programmer decided, hey, you, other side of the planet, fuck you, have some dogs. And I can only say, alright, I guess, and try to kill them as they try to kill me. Nasty, I say. Oh yeah, right, there's a trap here. This thing shoots. There's a trigger on the bottom here somewhere. There. Found it. Dog number 3. Fuck the Molotov cocktail. Some beast over there leads to the boom hammer. Kinda wanna get that as well while we're here. So he has the repeating pew pew, which means he actually does a shit ton of damage with his projectiles if you get hit. He also sometimes shoots twice, which is not what the repeating cannon does, despite its name. Alright, fuck you then. I thought we could get away with it. I thought wrong. Fuck you, Scythe guy. Blood vials. Oh, sorry, blood. Messed up my planned commentary there. Oh yeah, you jump down on that side and then you get to where you need to be. Alright. There's another guy, I think we can take him. Famous last words. If there ever were ones. Dance with the mate. The thing is, these guys are pretty tough, but as long as they come in, like, one at a time situations without a bunch of nasties around and you're not afraid of everything in the game, they are very much manageable, even at our current level. It's not like we're that undergeared either, like, I may have been overstating it a bit, trying to push the DLC off for last, but at the same time, it is kind of meant to do as a thing, or to be done as a thing that you would do just before ending the game, maybe, or at least very late in your playthrough. In the distance, police sirens, they know what's about to occur to me. God, you have a lot of HP. I am so glad that that hit. Look, I was gonna shoot over his shoulder. Nice. That was too early. Fuck. I need room to maneuver this. Let's jump down here, I guess. Of course, sir, sorry. Forgot that, like, ledges and walls are merely a suggestion to you. That is not a non-giver of folks. Find him more flat spots so I can maybe fight him. Jesus. Hey, we got 3 blood vials. And something else. Hey, we found a vermin, our very first. Nice, let's have a look at those. Where do these go? Here. A centipede-like creature discovered on successful hunts by leek hunters. Vermin, found hidden within filth, are only seen by leek confederates and are the root of man's impurity. The leek has assumed the task of finding and crushing all vermin. Perhaps there is some mercy in the madness. Those who wish to see vermin can, and those who choose to are provided with boundless purpose. Yeah, I love my purpose to be finding and crushing vermin. That sounds like a lovely life. More yams. I wanna, before I jump down there, let's quickly see if there's anything I'm missing here. Don't think so. Isn't this the boom hammer? I think that is. No, it's the beast cutter. Fuck, where'd I get the boom hammer? Oh well. A trick weapon wielded by the old hunters. This thick iron cleaver slices through the toughest of beast hides, and when transformed, the blade splits into sections, allowing one to lash it in the fashion of a heavy whip. This crude weapon relies on brute force and is regrettably inelegant, suggesting that the hunts of the earliest hunters made for horrific affairs, painted in sanguine blacks and reds. That a lovely little visual. Definitely inelegant though. Describes the sort of kerfuffle that's been going on here very well. Being Mr. Brute Force Boomhammer Man. Well, as long as I haven't missed it yet, I'm fine. It is also, as you might be able to tell, not the choice, or the weapon of choice. Mine anyway. On this playthrough anyway. Although I did fuck around with it a bunch in another playthrough. It's not meant to be this one. Do we bother opening this as a shortcut, or do we just say nay? Fuck it, we'll open it. There's a thing up there. Are you mad? You're not mad. I mean, you're probably mad, but not like angry mad. Actually, you're probably also angry, but not at me at least. That's the important distinction here. I think there's another piece of their armor. Got the trousers. We're missing the chest piece, I think. Well, have a look at the description. I think the trousers have a little bit of neat little lore on them. Aren't they gonna send it? Oh, they're there. I remember there being a guy up in there that I only ever fight like once, if at all, because he's a pain in the ass. Oh, this is the old hammer. Oh, this is the old Hunter's Garb. Close enough. No, we have the full set. I'll quickly go and die, and then we'll read it in peace, I guess. This would be usually my opportunity to run the fuck away, but we're being dumb, so here we go. This guy fucks all available ass, and that includes ours, sadly, so let's try not to die. No promises though. Hey, Amber. It's very hard to get behind you, sir. You're very big. Then I missed completely, despite you being so big. There we go. Let's see if we can do some chain backstab cheese. What's that do again? Is it TWAP? If anyone wants to tell me it's TWAP, I hope it's not TWAP. Okay, it seems to not be. Never mind. We're good. Ow. Oh, right, it's the stagger after a swing bullshit. Close. Oh yeah, and that grab. Definitely something one needs to have. Hey, dog. I didn't think you could hit me in here. Good thing the heal came through. Wait, you can't go in here? Thought you were forced to stay outside. Of course, that first hit is super delayed, and the second one is even more delayed and tracks perfectly. Ah, I fumbled that so hard. Dumbass. I shouldn't have gone in there, and the camera is being kind of a pain as soon as you go flatways in that room. Could really do with some more damage against these guys. They're so fucking sturdy. Anyway, at the very least we can now run past some of this in theory. Yep, you really have that nailed down. Come up here so I can fight you maybe? I went through him, nice. That's exactly what I wanted when I pressed the please visceral attack now button. I'm just gonna do the follow up. Like that. Really. That was way too late in my opinion, but so I guess I'll not complain. God, these are a pain in the ass. Okay, let's see how little we have to kill here, because ideally I don't want to do this entire shit again. I think we have to do with these things. You say nice, as we have killed the first of like 30 enemies in this area. And there's plenty that are just as strong or way worse than that guy, so I appreciate the enthusiasm, but we're only getting started on the whole pain train that we are in this, or on this DLC. He doesn't come into more than one swing, which is interesting. I'm always a bit hesitant there to continue because I'm expecting him to follow up, but so far he chose not to. I certainly meant to jump there. Thank you for good inputs, game. Bunch of gemstones. Wonder if these are any good. Level 4 is probably not that bad overall, but let's have a quick look to see what's on the left side here while they go die to the big man. Molotov cocktail. That did not last long. I would have thought that it wouldn't let me dash there in time. Okay, that's one hell of a chain there, sir. Please stop. And he's buffed. That's a bit early of a buff, but hey, I guess we'll die. I hate the jump so much. Does he actually have my souls? Because it's kind of hard to tell. He must have, I guess. They're not here, the other two died. Can you even parry him? I don't know, let's try to find out maybe. No tentacle Gribbly, please. One hell of a chain of attack, yeah, sir. Please, have some mercy. I fucking hate this guy. That turn! Are you serious? Man turns basically 360 degrees last second for his grab. That was already a jump instead of a roll. Thank you, control scheme, for being entirely useless. That hit. Nice. Oh, this is such a shit fucking fight. Especially when you need like 300,000 hits to come. I should just not fight him, but I'm an idiot, and when I do this sort of shit on stream I want to fight everyone, instead of just running through everything. I always have this conundrum though with the like fancy DLC stuff in these games. I want to do it somewhat early, so I have access to the weapons that I would like to use. But at the same time, if you do it earlier than intended, then you're gonna struggle your ass off, because everything is super fucking sturdy. I heavily invested into life this playthrough, so it wouldn't just get one-shot by everything. Still got one-shot earlier, but unrelated. But if I just did this later, then I would not have as much of a hard time with it, but at the same time I wouldn't get to use the weapon I would like to use for the rest of the playthrough, so it's kind of pick your poison. Either you get to use the fancy cool weapon that you want to use, or you get to have a fun, easy time. I wonder if he's gonna go for the piece as well. Oh, this time one of the small ones picked up my blood echoes. Right, beasts, hit him. Why are they all mad at me? Turns 180 degrees during that grab. Oh, of course the buff itself also protects it. Nice. Pushed me so heavily into the corner that he actually pushed me in front of him again after that. It's crazy. It is just so hard to get behind him. Oh, I guess you can't be backstabbed, but that was officially not a backstab. One of the two. Both are kinda ass. I should have just ran away from him again, because I can't play around him when he has the lingering explosions. Like, eventually you're just gonna get hit by the lingering explosion, then you're gonna get hit by a real attack, and then you're gonna fucking die. God, I hate this fight so much. Fuck you, guy. I think you can run by the ball on the left side, which I want to really risk trying though. backstep the small guy. I heard the sound, I was very happy for a second. Thank you, camera, for being so useful. Yep, I definitely saw exactly what was going on there. Dare I was to approach him? Fuck, I thought I could just run around him, but of course he has a basically 180-degree swing arc. Oh, why is that selected? Doing the thing again where I'm trying to play around him, but I forgot that you can't play around. I dashed. Okay, cool. Come up here then. Let's not fight on the fucking stairs. Oh, now you wanna stop leashing? Oh, there we go. Wonder if his buff ever runs out. Probably not. I am sorry for trying to fight you in a normal and fair way instead of choosing you. I should have just... I don't want to cheese him by leashing him on that point over and over again. He just doesn't take any fucking damage, basically. I want to try to play the fight out as normal, actually dodge through attacks and shit. Silly me. I wish I wasn't so fucking stubborn. I'm not here to fight this guy. I'm not even here to clear the DLC normally. I'm here for exactly one fucking item and then I wanted to leave again. But I realized, hey, with a bunch of effort I can just fight this as normal and then I can play the DLC as though it was intended, instead of just fucking running through and picking up what I need. And here I am, running into the fucking thing that I should be able to beat, but can't really that easily beat without cheese, and that is also one of the worst fights in the entire fucking game, because it's designed by monkeys. Ugh. Oh well. Wow, he's actually taking damage from the enemies this time. They even interrupted us both. What the fuck's going on there? I am stupid. Getting a bit unlucky that these guys choose to be as aggressive as they physically can. Yes, camera, please spin me round, baby, right round. Change my lock-on target a few times while you're at it, so I have absolutely zero control over my character afterwards. That's fun. It's so funny how he's actually fightable if he doesn't go into his bullshit second attack proc thingy phase every time. Like, without that lingering explosion bullshit, you can actually dodge through his attacks and fight him like a regular fucking enemy. But once the explosion bullshit happens, if you try to dance around him, you're just gonna get caught eventually, and then combo to death most likely, so it's just not worth trying. I'd try anyway because I'm a fucking idiot. Oh well. So instead of Vicar Amelia, no, it's not even a quarter of the way done, but hey. Instead of where Vicar Amelia usually rests, we have this one. What do you have in your hand? A boss fight, perchance? It's not a boss fight, an eye pendant. I think I even saw it there. There it is. An eye pendant which unlocks the surgery altar. I almost read that as sugary. That's quite something different, isn't it? There are two cathedrals in the Hunter's Dream. One lies past the River of Blood, and another contains the private research hall of the Healing Church. Only chosen members of the Healing Church, or their lamentable patients, can enter the research hall using this eye. Grant eyes to the surgery altar skull. Will do. I'm sure you won't come alive and fight me or anything, so we'll just leave. I like this fake out. It very much looks like the typical, oh, you approach, boss fight triggers, or you pick up item, boss fight triggers. But no, you can do whatever the fuck you want. No boss. Everything is fine. Hey, blood vials. Doesn't even begin to make up for the abundance of blood vials that I've been throwing away. I kinda have to sit like an idiot to not fumble with the cables for the controller while I'm playing this. So over time my left elbow just gets squished. I'm starting to feel a bit ow. There's a handful more triggers, like right there's a pressure plate to trigger more projectiles. We can take over there for a second now. So they do fire sort of regularly. Sure, it's fine. I keep picking up these Molotov cocktails. Let's try to put them to some use. That's alright. Stupid loading the guns. Stupid release. Yeah, nothing to trigger now, huh? Switch. Nice try. Alright, there's a few more good ways to die around here. Starting with this asshole who throws basically timed explosives. Here's another proper hunter with a boom hammer. Let's maybe cut him up here where we have the at least a little bit of flat ground to work with. You okay there with your pathing? You functioning? Are you leashing?
I had the fear as that hammer was coming towards me. Shot my puny little bullet, trying to stop the man. Go third swing. Go. At least that has roughly similar attack every time. Damn blood gems. All of the damn blood gems. Fuck your bones. Yeah, so we have now looped over towards the two-story house, which is in the Star of Central Yharnam, where you usually basically start your adventure. This version is a little bit different. Comes with some delayed Molotovs, which are basically what these guys are throwing. The delayed Molotovs are kind of shit. I don't think I've ever seen anyone use them very well for anything. They are, however, a cool item, and I like their inclusion. I like when they include like gimmicky versions of consumables, like the rope Molotovs and now the time Molotovs and stuff like that. Oh yeah, right. This is another pretty neat ambush. In the base version, there's this wheelchair guy with a gun, and I just autopiloted, ran over, tried to hit him, but he's already dead, or maybe it's just his wheelchair as a decoy. And if you do, then a self-destruct timer starts, and there's a little set of oil vases or whatever, explosive stuff here, and it tries to blow you up. Here's the boom hammer. On a ridge. Man talks shit. I'm not really mocking, I don't remember everything in terms of where these fucking weapons and items are either. It's just funny how that worked out. Let's quickly go here and pick up this item. I think we'll have to jump down into the River of Blood, aptly named. Get the Old Hunter top hat. Oh yeah, we still haven't checked that item description. Let's quickly go and check out the Old Hunter stuff then. Old Hunter Garb. One day the hunters disappeared and the Yarnomites began to whisper of the hunter's sin. Drunk with blood, chasing after bees, they would pass on to the nightmare, every last one of them. And for the hat... in the old days, where hunters were 10 a penny, this was part of their standard garb. And the Old Hunter top hat is basically the same. Old Hunter cap with a white brim that hides their sharp gaze, and this one is Old Hunter top hat, warped by bloodstains. Can't really see many bloodstains on that picture, but alas. And then the boots have some interesting stuff to them. Old Hunter trousers that protected countless hunters from the beast in an older age. A widespread belief of the period was that the beast blood crept up the right leg, and this led to the double-wrapped belt. As you can see, there's a set of belts around the right leg, so that the blood couldn't travel. Kind of interesting. I think there's been some historical stuff in the past that mimics that sort of belief. Like that is in reference to something, but I'm not in the know. So these are enemies we haven't encountered before. You meet them in Canehurst normally, which is not a place we've been to, and not a place I'm looking forward to. And these guys are a pain in the ass. These are basically fleas that soak themselves full of blood. And they move weird, they look creepy, they attack awkwardly, and they're overall not very fun to fight. We'll have to get through here somehow. We could also go, there's a little dead end on this side with some loot, but we have to fight an NPC that might end us, and I kinda don't want to do that right now. I'd rather try to unlock the shortcut. I think the shortcut's right up here on the other side of the bridge, so we have to fight some of these fleas to get there most likely. You can see the little fucking tongue or whatever the fuck they are. Basically like suction straw thingies, whatever the fuck. Not sure what you'd call that. Are you throwing something, or are you just standing there being a knob?
calling the shooty boys. Is the flea following us? It's not. Nice. Some bullets.
More blood!
That could easily come up into that. Oh wow, he found a neat little angle there. Can I? Goodness gracious. The double shots annoy the shit out of me. Slow and safe. Oh, it didn't transfer my weapon back one. This one I pressed up. Maybe it didn't transform to begin with and I just expected that to happen. Oh boy, time to become famous by buying ass on bigass.com. Get banned, bot. Fuck, I do not want to lock onto the leech, please. Or flea or whatever the fuck. Yeah, off you go. Go lick some blood. Nasty fucks. I want to be over here. Because here is our first shortcut. Our first proper shortcut, I should say. We had a little one earlier, but this is where it becomes real when it comes to shortcuts. Let's talk to this lovely chap.
You're a hunter with your sanity, aren't you? Must have taken a wrong turn, then, eh? Well, we're more alike than you think. This is the hunter's nightmare, where hunters end up when drunk with blood. You've seen them before. Aimless, wandering hunters slavering like beasts. This is what the poor fools have to look forward to. So, don't be brash. Turn back before it's too late. Unless you've something of an interest in nightmares.
Nightmares are fascinating.
Oh yes, I see. You sense a secret within the nightmare, and cannot bear to leave it be. As if the spirit of Bergenworth lives on within you. Such inquisitive hunters will relish the nightmare. But beware. Secrets are secrets for a reason, and some do not wish to see them uncovered. Especially when the secrets are particularly unseemly. Beware.
Well, what sort of secrets could we possibly uncover that would be more unseemly than what we've already seen? Plenty, it turns out. Here's the Cathedral Ward bonfire again, so... well, Nightmare bonfire, I guess. Nightmare Ward? Whatever. So, that loops us right back to the beginning, which is lovely. So, since I'm only here for a particular weapon, we will not start exploring this area thoroughly, and instead beeline forward towards the weapon of choice in this case. There's an optional little offshoot here. I kind of want to explore it while I'm here. I think there's an item. Yes. Constable's gloves. Fantastic. Right down there. I think that glowy bit right there is where we want to be. That's, I think, what I want to pick up. Or maybe it's right below me. No, I think it's over there on that side. If I remember correctly, that is the weapon that I want. So that's where I'll have to make it. There's a few more stretches of pain until then. I hope we can pass by these fleas without upsetting them. Just enjoy your blood, mates. No judgment from me. This is fine. Perfectly fine. Normal, even. Everything's fine. Alright, we should be good. So this area has a bunch of dogs, which is not what you want in Bloodborne, or any Souls game for that matter. So we'll have to be a little bit careful. There's a few more nasties around, and then we'll be effectively safe. I invited, saying come on, and then I get nibbled anyway. Thought if I said something cool, it would protect me from the pain. It did not. Is there a hunter here? Some sort of ambush? Some souls, why not? Or echoes. Blood, basically, what it boils down to. There's some crows. Crows are not the worst thing in the world. Especially since crows are not dogs, which already makes them much more bearable in Souls games. Come on then. Gotcha. Oh fuck you, I forgot about you. Let's try to run back to where we have already cleared out, so we don't get fucked. It missed. The way he lurches forward. That does not reach me. And that's it, because I wanted to parry. I hate you. Oh, did he just untransform his weapon? That's rare. Nightmares are also currently full of some German man whinging. Little did you know. There you go. Man, every one of these feels like a fucking struggle. Struggle is generally how I would describe this DLC experience so far with my blood-sick ass. Not the sad side like to have. Yeah, they do that. It's gonna be scary and annoying somehow. Speaking of very noisy bullshit. Alright, we done finally with all of the fucking birds that have ever existed in a game. Goddamn. Oh, it's you. I was wondering, some guy was making noise. Sorry, go on, not trying to ruin your day. At least not any further than it is already ruined. Well, no comment about this town or me being plague-ridden or a rat or anything like that. Just falling over and dies. Alright, almost there. This is one of the few instances where the game actually zooms out. Like, we're further away right now with the camera to enjoy this magnificent vista. Never mind the loading. Enjoy this beautiful, beautiful appearance. There's a bunch of big nasties over here, and I think my best way of dealing with them is running through right now, since we're almost where I want to be. This one might look remotely familiar to you from earlier exploits. However, this one has a gun, and we need to not be blown up. I say getting blown up. Might need to double heal, but oh well. I run so far away, and I run all night and day. And here's the lamp. I love lamp. Lamp is great.
Moth Cube engaged. Wandering Nightmare, which is a bit of a mean trap because there's a guy jumping onto you if you get too close, I think. Yeah, there you are. He didn't jump down. That's nice of him. So I get some Bloodstone chunks. Can I engage you with one of... character, please? Is the Molotov hitting the ground behind/below me because I have such a bad angle? Are you kidding me, game? I think that might be what's happening. Well, let's try throwing knives. Maybe these are more asked for this. There we go. Camera did not enjoy that. Some comically bad hitboxes. I don't know why I try on that attack. Even if I get the timing right, it's very unlikely that my projectile even hits because of the way he hunts forward. Just too early. Way too early. Fuck your gun. Just way too early again. There we go, finally. Stupid red-eyed pricks. Get a blood gem. And more vermin. Look at us go, farming this vermin. 2 bloodstone shards. Anything good? Mostly just crows. Some blood vials, just to bait us down here to the enemies. Now something weird is gonna happen here in a few seconds. Oh, is it further on? It is further on. Never mind. I said a few seconds, so that technically still counts. So some sort of Nautilus fell out of the sky. I'm sure there's no hidden meaning to that at all. Yeah, just ignore that, I guess. And this is why we're here, unless I am completely mistaken and did this trip for nothing. The Whirligig Saw. How could I do a on-stream Bloodborne playthrough and not choose the Whirligig Saw as my weapon of choice? Oh yeah, we haven't read the other ones either, have we? Let's have a quick look at these. Oh, actually we read the Beast Cutter. Let's read the Boom Hammer as well. A trick weapon used by the old hunters and crafted by the workshop heretics, the powder kegs. A giant hammer equipped with a miniature furnace. When ignited and fired, it emits a volley of flame that explodes furiously upon impact. Crush the beasts and burn them. The brute simplicity of the Boom Hammer was favored by hunters with an acute distaste for beasts. And here's the Whirligig Saw, a trick weapon crafted by the workshop heretics, the powder kegs, and weapon of choice for the old hunter Volter, the Beast Eater. This weapon pummels beasts in its mace form, but its true strength lies in its attached mechanical saws. These discs, okay, brain, work. These discs, lined with serrated teeth, spin rapidly, thrashing the flesh of beasts into fine shreds. So this looks like this. We have a little stick on the right, which is just a normal-ass mace. Fairly basic moveset, not too bad though, somewhat fast, can work with that. A little swing, or a little slap I think, yep. And then if we transform it, it looks like this. Haha. Alternatively, we do this to absolutely destroy the fuck out of someone. Or just one of these. And with L2, we can do this. which is nice. It drains our stamina though, which is not optimal. Transformation attacks are as follows. We have this, which I always found pretty cool because you just take the fucking blades by this tiny ass handle and just slam it into the ground in front of you like an absolute madman. Or vice versa, we have this, which just looks pretty cool. So yeah, Whirligig Saw. Here we go. That's gonna be my weapon of choice for this playthrough. I will keep the Saw Cleaver, that's what it's called, as a backup weapon in general, because it's always useful to have. It's pretty fast, and if I struggle with something and I feel like Whirligig Saw isn't doing it, I can always just switch to that and have a decent time. But this is gonna be what I plan to primarily use, at least for the foreseeable future. Let's for now switch back to the Saw Cleaver, because we have to fight something. It is definitely like a chainsaw. People like to call it the pizza cutter, because of its like round shape and the way you would just roll that, like a pizza roller sort of thing. I know, I thought there was gonna be a backstab maybe. So that weapon that he's using right there is the Beast Hunter's Scythe, and I've never really tried that one very much. I know it's ooh, fucking hell. I know it's pretty strong on paper. I think it was even broken for PvP for a while when it came out, but never really was anything I ever tried myself. Camera I didn't want to see anyway. I'm betting a little bit too much on this random parry. I mean, he is flailing like a motherfucker, and I'm very slightly off. Yeah, we passed them already. They're up by the, like if you are in that little house, if you go to the left side, where the boom hammer was, just upstairs and to the left from there. Or is it actually upstairs? I think it's the same level. Where the pseudo Gilbert's window is. There's the guy that you fight for the beast claws. But nah, I don't really love the claws that much. Should we go try that again? Not really, let's just leave. We got what we came for. I was just trying to take this opportunity to grab one more weapon while we're here. Would have been nice, but alas, I fucked up. Alright, so let's grab a bunch of blood echoes. And let's go upstairs and upgrade the old, or the new I should say, Beast Cutter. Whirligig Saw, not Beast Cutter. Echoes. We can make more echoes happen. We've got plenty of blood on us. So, now we have this thing, and it scales with, already with an A in strength, and it's gonna go up to an S if we get it to +10. Still scales a little bit with skill, with a D, and if we were to convert it to an arcane weapon, it will scale with a B, which is alright, not fantastic, but not the worst. I think this counts as a serrated weapon in the transform mode, so it should do extra damage to beasts, but I'm not entirely sure on that one. Let's quickly put the good old blood gems in there. We should check if we have anything new or fancy. Damage versus beast, attack versus kin, that's a large number, I approve. Bunch of skill scaling for 7 damage, not really worth. Converts to fire, not really worth. Thrust attack, not really worth. The moveset does actually have a thrust attack, I think, in there somewhere. So that does technically count. Blunt attack is also something that technically could count, but only in the transformed version. Like, I don't think the big overhead slams count as, whatchamacallit, blunt attacks. Maybe they do, actually. What else would they count as? Anyway, we have this one, which is a physical attack up plus 18%, which is incredible. One of the better gems you can get in the base game. Or, well, it's in the DLC, but I meant outside of the Chalice Dungeons. This one has physical attack 12. Another one with physical attack 12. I think we're reaching the lower end of the gems, yeah. Right, let's just take this, actually I think the percentage plus the flat is better than 0.4% more here, so that's probably the best one we have. Yep, alright, let's look at the triangular ones. What do we have here? Attack versus kin, poison effect. That's actually rapid poison, that's not the worst thing. Attack up 9, that's pretty good. Arcane attack up, thrust attack up 15, goddamn, that'd be alright. If we had many thrust attacks. I'm just gonna select this for now. Yep, okay, that's the best we have. Alright, so fully assed up, this thing now does a comparative shit ton of damage, and we will be very ready to slice away at some mates in the near future. Because I am done for today. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you had fun. Despite the bit whingy DLC exploration there, it did feel like a bit of a grind, but I chose this for myself. I wanted to get this weapon so I can use it for some of the optional areas that are coming up, so it's my own undoing, and I knew this getting in there, so can't really complain. Anyway, thanks for watching, hope you had fun, and bye bye!